at the very tip of top of the rankings. We already knew with champagne popping, it could only be one team. Who is it?
Chili. It's Chili Bowl, man. Like last week spanked my ass, and I mean for a reason.
Revenge.
Unfortunately, he he um he unfortunately he lost maybe a little bit of production from the Aaron Rodgers injury, but I mean he ain't got to worry about that. He has a solid bench too to back him up in case he ever just wants to get away from there. He has a full roster, and it's a fucking great roster, and it's gonna take him far. I don't see anyone beating him at all this year. He could
Me,
potentially make an undefeated run again.
me either. And the only guy who I think's got a shot right now. Well, there's other people with outside
Yeah,
chances, but
yeah,
I
yeah.
but I think the best shot is Bad Wolf. He comes in at number two and still put up a good score, even though it was disastrous with the Bills. And you figure those guys can't play any worse. So we should see better days ahead for Bad Wolf's score. Um, and I think there's enough win now pieces on this team that maybe aren't going to be able to go to market and get any value from, but you got to let
Mhm.
you can still get some good games out of Keenan Allen. You can still get some good games out of Dalvin Cook. So I think this is a team who's got a shot. Another team that's got a shot, and we can recognize that, but you know, we're and they're coming in at number three for that potential. Who we got?
I mean, it's Nish. It's the fishbowl himself. That team
Fishbowl
packs a fucking punch, legit. Like Tyreek Hill,
punch.
Tua. I mean, god damn.
You're not even a
Like
dad, bro.
legit. Like I mean, it it did work last week, and I mean he deserves that ranking. He fended off Aaron Jones come up with that 25 pointer, and I mean shit, like that Dolphins are gonna make or break his fucking team, and
No doubt.
trajectory wise, the Dolphins are gonna be scoring points for sure.
And Nish, the first riser in the rankings. The one and two
Hmm.
stayed pat, and no reason to change it. But first riser, another guy staying kind of pat is auto drafting Fugly.
Hmm.
Again, man, like we're like you kind of understood it with the drink. It's his starting level players elite, and if he gets into the playoffs, problem. You wonder if the depth is going to catch up to him at some point or not. But he has capital. He can always make some trades.
Hmm.
Kind of go either direction. But for now, he's still putting up numbers. That team just scores, and you can't dismiss him. He's a contender.
Yeah,
Um, 5 and 6, we're seeing some shakeups. So five, we have a new entrant into the power rankings. Who do we got at five?
it's a goat, dude. I mean, barely squeaked a win, but I mean, you those Browns, it was ugly, but they're probably gonna get him there. Really, I know Njoku didn't do too hot, but he's got Amon-Ra St. Brown, Nick Chubb. I mean, he's gonna go off. Isaiah Pacheco is gonna be steady. Deshaun Watson, I think he's only gonna improve, as gross as that sounds. But I mean, Go Keaton gets in there. It was a convincing win against your commission. So,
And then last but not least, so to have a riser, we have to have a faller, and
hmm.
he's staying in the power ranks because you still believe in the elite players, but it just now there's red flags. We weren't really sure this was a red flag team, but now we're thinking there's some flags, and that's Travis L, who took an L, a bad one last week, and the Eagles situation at running back, fucking, it's caught everybody off guard, and
Yeah, yeah, it's
you don't blame him for playing Swift because
mhm,
we all would have, right? If we had Swift, you play him. You would have figured he
mhm.
would have had more than three touches. So um, it was a weird week. We're confidence is shaken. He's down at six, but he's still in there. You got to respect it still.
Yeah. And he was against the New England Patriots. That defense is
It's a good
always
defense.
going to be tough. So I mean, I think their matchup is against the Minnesota Vikings this Thursday. So definitely gonna turn. I mean, a lot of turnarounds going to happen, especially with those points for the at least with Hurts and AJ Brown and Goddard if he does play those players. And then CeeDee Lamb, he's not going to be. I mean, even with a limited amount of touches of just 4 attempts or 4 targets to CeeDee Lamb, he did work. And can you only imagine if the game's actually not just one-sided?
Yeah,
So,
if it's not 40-0 at the end of the first quarter, like
fuck.
you would think they pass more, but okay, yeah.
Mhm.
No, I'm there with you. So then only one thing left to do now, and that's do these pick'ems. So
Mhm.
first matchup, pretty good one. I think we got two like headlining matchups this week. Um Goat and Otto, the newest playoff power versus defending co-champ.
Mhm.
And when I look at these two teams, um, I gotta go Otto. I am worried on the Goat King side about one, no Taylor. So then what is that? What is the trickle down of that? Now it's like,
Mhm.
do you play Robinson and Pacheco against Denver and Jacksonville? He's trying to play Tank Dell and Jordan Addison against Philly. Now I'm kind of like worried about the mix here. Whereas like with Otto, I think his matchups are all fine. I don't worry
Yeah,
too
yeah.
much. So I'm taking meat and potatoes there. What do you got?
I'm gonna have to go the opposite side with you. Currently, what I'm seeing with Otto, I mean, obviously, I'm going GOAT. Yeah, he's bringing in those rookies, but I mean, Tank Dell's gonna get those touches. If he's anything like he was in the preseason, he's gonna eat Jordan Addison. I think he starts getting more attention. KJ Osborne, I don't know why he got more playing time than Jordan Addison. Obviously, they're probably using him in, but um, I see Jordan Addison doing really well. Cam Akers is against that San Francisco D. So I see a lot of potential where Goat can make this upset against Otto. Um, and I mean I think matchups are going to be there, and I do believe that this Browns offense is going to surprise a couple people.
Okay. Hey, that's fair.
Yeah,
The Browns have a shot. There's a lot of talent on
yeah,
that roster, so I don't disagree. So then the next four, we're actually in sync on most of these, unless you change your
yeah,
mind
yeah.
last second. So we'll just
We're
each give our defense of the predicted winner, and we'll keep it pushing. So for this first one,
Mhm.
you could talk about it. So you have the pick, the floor for A Rojas versus Nish. We're both on the same page. Who do we have as our winner?
Yeah, between A-Ross and Nish, it's gonna be Nish, dude. Like, I think Travis Kelce comes back. I think obviously, like, currently based on the lineup, he's looking to be projected to lose, but I mean, he has Travis Kelce out still. I think the the New England game is going to be a higher scoring one than people think, and I think Tua is real. I mean, barring any concussions, legit. Like I'm actually rooting for Tua, and I have zero stock in him. But I think
Yeah.
the Miami Dolphins are gonna be throwing the ball against the New England Patriots, and Travis Kelce is gonna come back. So, assuming Mark Andrews does come back, that's an also possible risk that he might not. Then I'm leaning Nish's side.
Okay. And like I said, I'm right there with you. So I'll move on to the next one. And we've
Hmm.
got Kamish against Jay Moley. And we're
Hmm.
both in this again, we're on the same page. So we're both taking Cool Kid to win this one. And the reason being matchups. You know, we saw
Hmm.
Nico Collins eat against Baltimore. So why can't Chase? We saw we saw Bijan Robinson and Algier eat against the Falcons. So why can't Jamal Williams?
Hmm.
We saw we saw Mac Jones eat against the Eagles, and why can't Kirk? I just think
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
got a lot of really good matchups that pay dividends week one in your lineup. And when I look at the other side, I do see some good ones still for Jay Moley, but I think I see just a little more question marks because I worry about like DJ Moore, Pat Fryermuth. Is Williams going to get the volume? So no Gainwell. Like I think I'm more sure about your guys. I think you've got a higher floor, and I'm rocking with it.
Yeah.
So then up next we've got Lil Chubb and Travis L. So who do we have for that one?
I mean, we have Travis on that one, dude. Like it's again, Little Chubb's team. It's rough. It's it has potential, but
It's
it's rough to look at, really. Brock Purdy, he's good, but I mean, I believe he's limited on his upside. And Birds of Prey, like I said, those matchups are looking good. If I mean, with James Conner, yeah, he's questionable, but I foresee him playing. And I mean, first of all, he's starting running backs. You have Kenneth Walker who's playing Detroit, who I don't really believe that their defense is 100% back. They have a good defense, but they're still gonna be ran on. New York Giants, Tony Pollard was able to run on them. I can foresee that it's going to be more running yardage for them. And again, like he has pretty good matchups as well. Birds of Prey is going to eat. He's going to definitely make a comeback this year or this week, and that's going to be against, unfortunately, Little Chubb.
the only thing I'll say about this is when you were describing Little Chubb's team, it reminds me of the scene in Talladega Nights where he's like, no, like Michael Clark Duncan is like, no, he needs to know. He's always crying. That's exactly what it
Yeah.
reminds me of. But okay, so that's that matchup, and then the main event. We've got number one, number two, mano a mano, fucking boys going at it, trying to say, you know what? I respect you, but this is my shit. I got to be number one. And I just don't see the matchups playing out in a way that doesn't still let Chili Bowl win. I mean, you're going to get to throw Herbert against Tennessee, and you can pass on them.
Yeah, you
Well,
can.
and even if that happens, he on the other side, Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler. So if those guys are eating, it's because Herbert's probably also eating too. So it's still funneling back to him. He's got good matchups with like Barkley against Arizona, like Olave feasting on Carolina, who has nobody on defense. Ridley, fucking Amon-Ra can eat against KC. He can too. I just think the
Hmm.
matchups are good enough on that side for that roster to just keep rolling through. And I'm not gonna say that Bad Wolf can't put up points this week, but I just have more questions. Madison against Philly, and well, I mean, I guess really what I'm looking at, the rest are fine, but they don't make my eyes pop the same way that some of these matchups on the other side do. So,
Yeah, I was also going to point out that Madison, Laporta, Nakua, I think that's really what does it for me to lean more, at least Chili Boy's way.
yeah, like a little like those guys are less consistent. We haven't seen it that they're
Exactly.
always going to deliver, and I don't know. I don't think Puka's going to have 15 a game. I like
Hmm. I
I
mean, at
just
least
don't.
not with against the 49ers. If it was anyone else, maybe I could see it, but yeah.
Oh, I totally missed that one. Yeah, he's got.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one's scoring against that defense. They're legit. So,
Hey, dude.
cool. Well, hey, that's the matchups, guys.